Morning, everyone. How are you doing? Hope everyone is well, keeping well. Nice warm day for you today, 17, 18 degrees. You get the weather forecast as well when you tune in every morning. Today's learning is dedicated in memory of Leah Bas Bible, Tzivi Bas Mordechai, Avram ben David Slavin, Shlom ben Yisrael Morris, Eliezer Shalom ben Avram Shmuel Beres, Tzipora Fegel Bas Reuven Baruch, Shalom ben Eleli, Ben Bas Bible, from Shasham Bas Yaakov Shmuel, Sarah Malka Bas Ben Yomin, as well as the yortzites for today, which are Yehuda ben Matityahu Cohen Harun, Ephraim ben Chaim Gerard, Leib ben Yisrael Hershkorn, and Michal Asher ben Asher HaKohen Leighton, and Herschel ben Mendel Goldstone. Wish each and every one of their respective families long life and only simchas. We come today. I'm very, very excited. First, I'm excited to see each and every one of you, but I'm excited because we come today to the essence of what it means to be a human being. If I was to ask you, what does it mean to be a human being? What would you say? To be a Jew, it's very straightforward, right? We eat, and then we complain, and then we eat, and that's basically what it means to be Jewish. But what does it mean to be a human being? What is it that we celebrate? What differentiates us from animals, from the world around us, right? So Reshus Kol Adam Nasunaloi in Ratza Lahates Atzma L'Derech Tova V'Liyos Tzaddik. It is in each person has the ability, the permission, right, to be a righteous person or a wicked person. Hareshus biyadoi. It's in the person's hand. In other words, we have free will. We make decisions in life, right? And this is a axiomatic idea which goes through the very core of what it means to do Teshuva and why we are responsible for what we do. And in terms of life itself, the one area that we have control over is in the area of decisions, choices. Okay, let me carry on, then we'll be able to explain it a bit better. So he says that Rambam says that the human beings are differentiated from every other animal and every other being in that we are able to understand and to discern good from evil, right? So a person, he says, this is the second halacha. A person shouldn't think to himself, right, which is what simple people believe, right, that the Almighty, a person shouldn't think that a person is predisposed. A person is predisposed to be a tzaddik or a rasha, a good person or a bad person. I was born this way. Nurture, nature, the whole debate. Many people would turn around and say, what can I do? I hear it all the time. What can I do, Rabbi? I wasn't born religious. I grew up. I didn't have the same start to life as many others. You know, and that is their excuse or their justification and rationalization for the way they go on to lead life. Right? Now, to a certain degree, we have to accept the fact that every person starts off with a different position of privilege. Okay? We have different opportunities. Every person is born with different capabilities. Estelle, I don't know why you can't find me on Facebook. It's the same face every single day, okay? And it is on my Facebook page. You put in my name, there's only one of me, thank God, and you will find me, and you click, and you'll just see the image. I'm going to show you, Estelle. Okay, so hopefully you'll find us on Facebook tomorrow, but if not, that's why we've got YouTube, so you can find us and watch us again and again. Going back to what we were talking about, a person could turn around and say, listen, and this is what a person may say in court. I came from a broken home. I didn't have an education. I lived on a council estate. From a young age, I was into to being part of a gang, and we were into drugs and dealing and stealing, right? So therefore, I can't, Your Honor, in court, I couldn't help myself, right? I couldn't help myself. And the answer is to that each and every person on their own level has a choice. Now, what that means is, and what Rambam will go on to discuss, is that we all have different challenges, different things that we find a test, a trial, a challenge in life. So for one person, it may be because of where their starting point was. It may be, am I going to eat kosher or not? That's the challenge. Am I going to keep Shabbat or not? Right? Another person, it may be, am I going to be refined in my speech? Am I going to be sensitive, right, in the way I deal with other people? And another person who's more advanced, it may not be any of those things. It may be, am I going to have the right thoughts when I pray? Or am I going to give all my gusto and strength when I greet you hello? A more subtle, refined challenge. Nonetheless, the point of free will is the same. It's between doing the right thing and the wrong thing. And therefore, right, it doesn't really matter, because a person will be measured and is measured in terms of where we started and where we end up. So therefore, you can have, you have the joke about the guy, the rabbi with the long beard who's standing in line in heaven, and all of a sudden this biker comes up and he's wearing, got earrings coming out of everywhere. He's got tattoos all over his arms. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with having earrings and tattoos. Don't quote me. But he comes along and and the Almighty pushes him to the front of the queue, and he's in front. He gets a place much higher than the rabbi, and the rabbi says, "Well, what's the difference?" He says, "Well, do you know where this guy came from? Do you know where he started?" So it's all about, each and every one of us judging ourselves by what we are capable of, nothing less and nothing more. And perhaps that is, and this is what the Rambam is discussing, the most scary thing about when we come to this time of the year and we reflect on life and we reflect on who we are and who we want to be and who we are capable of being. It's a very scary proposition to look in the mirror, to have a long, hard look in the mirror, friends, and say to yourself, I know I can be more. I know what I'm capable of, right? And in my message to the community, I speak about, during COVID, so many people surprised themselves with what they discovered about the ability to do things that before that they never knew they were capable of. Take the example. I know it's it's an extreme example, but Captain Tom, right? So if I told him a few weeks beforehand, you're going to raise 32 million pounds, and you're going to you're going to walk 100 laps backwards and forwards over the next few weeks at 99 years old, turning 100, he would have laughed at me, right? He would have chuckled and said, "Yes, young man, yeah, you're dreaming." And the answer is that very often we do not realize until we are in a certain situation what we are capable of. And therefore, what we are meant to do is just try to make the right decisions in life. So when it comes to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we're being judged by none other than ourselves. There is the image of us in this world, and there is the image of what we should be, the potential, the capability, the way God made us with all that latent pregnant potential that we can release, we can become if we so wish to be. And therefore every year we have to, as it were, look at ourselves, have a long hard look and say, what can I do? Can I be more? And therefore it is no excuse to say, well, this is who I'm not Moshe Rabbeinu. Maimonides goes on to say, a person cannot use that as an excuse. You're not meant to be Moshe Rabbeinu. You're not meant to be Moses. You're not meant to be you're not meant to be Sarah. You're not meant to be Rebecca. You're not meant to be Deborah, except Deborah Morris. You are meant to be Deborah. But otherwise, you're not meant to be. The idea is you are not measured by anyone else rather than yourselves. Okay? So there's no point in looking down at people that are lower than you and saying, well, patting yourself on the back and saying, look, I'm much better than them. You didn't start in their position. You don't have the same capabilities as them. More is expected from you. Conversely, a person who looks ahead and he sees people that spent their lives in Israel, in a home filled with great Torah scholarship, then a person like that cannot be compared to a person that comes from our community, and they won't be compared. But again and again and again we say it. Maimonides says again, we cannot turn around and use as an excuse what other people are doing. We have to say what we are capable of, and that is real returning. We are returning to become to God, to come closer to Him, and to recognize and appreciate what we are capable of. We're going to have to stop there, okay? But the ability, we don't choose the situations that we find ourselves in, friends, okay? It could be a person finds themselves with ill health, a person finds themselves with lack of wealth. It could be that a person finds themselves that they don't have the greatest strength and ability. They find they get tired easily, or they may not have the greatest mind. What situation we find ourselves in, be it COVID or non-COVID, that is not up to us most of the time. What is the way that we react, the way that we behave, the decisions that we make. Are we making the right decisions or the wrong decisions? We have to be honest with ourselves. Okay, so that is part one of this fascinating chapter. Chapter 5 we are up to, halfway through, as we discuss and we journey through Maimonides' magnum opus, the laws of Teshuva, the laws of repentance, and hopefully we will have a greater awareness as to what we can be and what we should be. We continue now with Psalm 23. I'd like to say a special warm welcome to all those that are joining us this morning in no particular order, but we have some new and old faces. So let me just very quickly say good morning to those that say good morning to me, to Michael, to Mervyn, to Powell, to Eitan, to Rachel, to Peter, to Michael, to Michelle, to David, to David, to David, 3 Davids, full house, Jackie, Andrea, Rachel, Harry, Anthony, Caroline, Estelle, Powell, Deborah, and Ricky, and I think it's Zila in the office. Good morning to each and every one of you. So, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even when I walk in the valley of darkness, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You set a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. You anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord for the length of days. Memorial prayer. Es nishmais nebas Bible Tzibas Mordechai Abram ben David Slavin Shlomo ben Yisrael Morris Eliezer Shalom ben Neva Shmuel Beretz Parafegel bas Ruven Baruch Shalom ben Elieli ben Abbas Bible from Moshe Shana bas Yaakov Shmuel Sarah Malka bas Binyamin. 1 second. Ela Yehuda ben Matityahu Cohen Harun Ephraim ben Chaim Gerard Leib ben Yisrael Hershkon Michal ben Asher Cohen Leighton Hershel ben Mendel Goldstone, Chaya bat Reuven Yosef, Shalchu li lamam began Aiden Taimanu Chasam Lachim Balarachamim Yasrim Misekan Avalamim, Visobas Rain Nishmasam Adinoi Nachlasam, Vianuch Bishlam Mishkavam, Vedamar Amen. Lastly, Refuah Shlema prayer for all those that are ill and unwell, both in our community and further afield. Misha Berach Havzin Romis Rabiakov Moshe Aaron David Shlomo Garech Rapes Chaylim. Babu Shana Mispalim Babu Ram Bizchazakash Baruchim Ale Rachim Alehem Lach Monoposam Bishlach Lehem Pushlim and Shmam Mecholabem Basosha Yisrael Refuah Sanef Shmusakov Hashabagas Margarib and Amar Amen. Look forward to seeing you at 8 p.m. as we discover our true selves. This is the first talk before Rosh Hashanah. Look forward to seeing you at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great day. Keep safe, keep well. Lovely to see you all. Be well.